Yes, now people, welcome back to James Redmond TV and welcome to something a little bit new, something that I want to implement before the new year. Speaking of new year, happy new year. It's obviously the day before new year and we are still working. We worked on Christmas, we worked on Christmas Eve and we are working on New Year's Eve as well. We're going to be working on New Year's Day. Welcome to the live stream, everyone. Everyone who was a member of the Redmond's Army, welcome. And also, something that I want to mention, you can now become a member on the YouTube channel. Simply click the link that is in the description, and then boom, you're there. If you're wondering what this show is, you can check the description for a more, well written out, detailed sort of way of finding out what this show is. But basically, this is just going to be an hour podcast that I'm going to do once a week or twice a week. Let me know how much you want me to give it to you. Also, let me know, do you want me to do this show by myself, or would you like me to include guests every once in a while? Obviously, Liverpool fans, as it's a Liverpool show. But back to what the show was about. Obviously, we're just going to talk about kind of like things that I do already, just in a longer style of format where I can talk about it more, because I'm aware that people like the shorter content that I do, and then there's people who probably want longer content that they can just watch and chill with a cup of tea. And by the way, get your cup of tea if you haven't already, yeah? Everybody, welcome to the live stream. I will be doing everything I can to keep up with the comments and whatnot, because obviously I'm aware that all of you will be wanting to get involved. That's another reason why I want to do it live as well, mate, because it'll give me a chance to interact with you lot. Obviously, the people are here. But listen, and another thing as well, I've just mentioned the memberships, and this is a comment from Master Challenge James. I can't because of money. And if that is the case, that is absolutely fine. I am only suggesting that to you because when people support the channel, I just want you to absolutely be clear. When you're supporting the channel and investing into the channel, just know I'm going to reinvest that into the channel and try and make this show and everything about this channel better. If you don't have the money, do not worry, because honestly, mate, just you being here and you subscribing is more than enough. So honestly, my mate, thank you for suggesting that, but you didn't have to. Really, just it's great that you're here. And also leave a like as well, people. We have got a good show ahead. We've got a lot of things to talk about. Obviously, the title is Thiago. But before we get into any of that, I want to do a Who Am I? Now, if you're unaware of what a Who Am I is, it's basically where I give you a few details and a few stats about a certain player, and it can be current or old. It can be, but it will be in the Premier League era, so you won't have to think too far back. So it will be a Liverpool player. I'm going to give you a few details, and you have to guess. I've got 3 clues, and I've got a bonus clue in case none of you can quite get it. So are you ready? And make sure that you get your answers in the chat, okay? And then I'll talk about the first piece of news, and then we'll go further. Anyway, oh no, me light, mate. Me light. Already technical difficulties. Now we'll see if we can fix that. Hopefully that'll stay. If not, then we can just keep fixing it. Sorry about that, people. Anyway, so the details of the player. Wait, I'm sitting. It's messed my camera up as well, man. Bloody hell. Right, let me just. We're having technical difficulties, people. Sorry about this. Right, there we go. Get that lamp back there. Hopefully that should be alright. Hopefully that should be alright. When I sit back, there we go. So the first detail about the Guess Who player is I have made 92 appearances for Liverpool Football Club. I am a centre midfielder, and I have played for West Ham and Chelsea also. And there's a bonus clue. So everyone in the chat, get your answers in there. I have made 92 appearances for Liverpool Football Club. I am a centre midfielder, and I have played for West Ham, and I have played for Chelsea. In the meantime, that you're guessing that, I obviously just want to say hello to a few people that have come into the chat. Shout out to everyone. Phoenix Football Compilations, welcome. Mustafa Mohammed, let's go. Lewis P, welcome. Everyone that is in this live stream, welcome, welcome, welcome. There's a few guesses already. So we've got a Daniel Sturridge. We've got a Joe Cole guess. Not a bad shout, not a bad shout. He has played for them clubs that I did list. A lot of people mentioning Joe Cole. Joe Cole. Notice the way I said 92 appearances, people. Okay, I said 92 appearances. It looks like that Frank Lampard. Are you taking the absolute banana piss? Frank Lampard never played for Liverpool, Flex. Flex, I'm talking about ex or current Liverpool players, and I'm suggesting that they have played 92 times for Liverpool. They have played for West Ham, and they have played for Chelsea. No, the live chat is massively failing at all this. Glenn Johnson, it's not Glenn Johnson. I can tell you, it's not Glenn Johnson. It looks like I'm going to have to give you the bonus clue. If you are not watching this live, obviously leave your answer in the comments down below. The bonus clue is I have also played for Arsenal on loan. I have played for Arsenal on loan. So I have played 92 times for Liverpool. I have also played for Chelsea and West Ham, but I have also played for Arsenal on loan, yeah. And I already see a few of the correct answers. We have got a Yossi Benayoun 1, a Yossi Benayoun 2, and a Yossi Benayoun 3. Congratulations, Redmond's Army. We got there in the end, but you did need the bonus clue. And let me know if that's something that you want to see at the start of every show, sort of a little quiz, sort of question type of thing. Let me know if that's what you would be up for. But people, we have got 100 people in here. Thank you very much for joining in. Make sure you leave a like. I'm going to try and make this a more weekly basis thing. Let me know, like I said at the start of the show, if you want me to start bringing in more people and all of that. But I am more than happy to bring you the longer content. He was a centre mid. I believe he was a centre mid. I believe Benayoun was a centre mid. Wasn't he a centre mid? Nah, he definitely was a centre mid. Right. Or he played in and around that position. Right, anyway. First piece of news, people, and let me talk about a brief of what we're going to be talking about in this show. Erling Haaland has got some sort of an agreement with Barcelona. We're going to also go over a few final match thoughts about Liverpool versus Newcastle, come up with a few solutions, talk with you in the chat about what Liverpool could do going forward in terms of improving, because it looks like that we really do need to have something added to that squad right now. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to do a loan watch. We're going to do some transfer news, all of that good stuff. So that's why you've got to strap your seatbelts and get ready. Anyway, I want to talk about Erling Haaland. Apparently, he's made an agreement with Barcelona. And I want to get this out the way because it's the least likely transfer news, isn't it? Erling Haaland, coming to Liverpool. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, especially in January, and it wouldn't even make sense if we were to go out and get him in the summer. Would I take him? Absolutely. Will probably be my dream signing above even Mbappe, just because he will get goals. And I feel like we will look back at Erling Haaland in years to come as one of the greatest strikers to ever grace the game. He's just got that type of a lethal. Do you know them people who can just finish? You just know where the goal is, like an Aguero, and the way we look at him. I feel like Haaland can surpass that. Feel like he's got that much potential. He's 19 and he's lethal to fuck. So that's what I'm trying to offer to you people. Erling Haaland is serious. Anyway, according to a Spanish journalist, the reports are coming out that Barcelona have made an agreement of some sort with Dortmund, meaning Liverpool probably won't be interested if this is the case. The player is valued at 90 million. He has 17 goals in 14 games this season, and 33 goals in 32 games overall for Borussia Dortmund. He knows where the net is, mate. That's the conclusion on Erling Haaland. He knows where the net is, and even people in the chat are realising, and they already know. I don't need to tell you how good Erling Haaland is. News on Mbappe. One thing I can say, Jordan, there is no news on Mbappe. That's the only news that I can give you, really, when it comes to one of the more star players that Liverpool are usually linked with. Don't get me wrong. Don't think we're going to sign him anytime soon, but that would be my dream signing. Someone who knows where the goals are, and someone who will come into the Premier League, in my opinion, and tear it up. And it does make you think, looking back, it probably would have been a good decision to sign Haaland, maybe over Minamino, or sign them both. But we missed that chance. Anyway, that's the news on Haaland. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you're not watching this live, and if you are watching this live, then discuss between yourselves. Botman incoming. Someone has just said in the chat, let me catch that comment. This is something that we are going to talk about in a minute for sure. In fact, you know what? I'll talk about that now that you've mentioned this, Shane. We won't even have to worry about an order. Yes, James, I was the West Brom fan that mocked you, lol. Connor, suck yourself. Go suck yourself, bro. Yes, there is news on a centre-back. Right, that's what I'm going to get into, people, because you are asking for it. So, Liverpool have made, or are going to make, a bid for Lille, 20-year-old centre-half. Botman is his name. I mean, to be fair, there's not a lot of information that I know about this player except what I've saw today. I haven't watched them too much. I know he's 20. I know he plays for Lille, and I've got a few of these stats. He joined Lille at the beginning of this season from Ajax for 7 million. He made 23 appearances. Well, he has made 23 appearances and has had 9 clean sheets with Lille this season. Now, actually, I'm going to look real quick where Lille are in the table, because that'll just give a good indication whether he's not only doing well in a team like that, because 9 clean sheets to me sounds pretty impressive, but if his team, because of that, is doing well, and yet, mate, they're second in the league, they're absolutely smashing it, actually joint top with Lyon. So I would not be too disheartened to go out and get this signing. And here is where there actually could be some substance, because Liverpool are always linked with every centre-back, left, right and centre under the sun. But the reason why there could be some substance in this is because I feel like Jurgen Klopp and FSG have realised that we now need to go out and we need to invest if we really want to go for this league title. We can't just go forward with a Joel Matip, who is very unreliable, who, by the way, is now injured for 3 weeks. Done a video on that earlier. We've got a Fabinho, who is a midfielder. He is not a centre-back. Does very, very good as centre-back. He is a lethal monster. He will beat you up, but he is not a centre-back. He's a midfielder. And we're taking him out of his best position to supply him there. And again, doing a great job. But we need someone who can come in there. That isn't a Nat Phillips. That isn't a Reece Williams. Someone who a year ago we didn't know about. Don't tell me you knew about Nat Phillips or Reece Williams. You might have known who Nat Phillips was. Don't you dare tell me you knew who Reece Williams was. Unless you've done the long watch like I'm going to be doing later on. You did not know who Reece Williams was. He was playing in the conference or something like that. I never heard of him. Maybe that's just me not being a good Liverpool fan, but I never heard of him. I knew who Nat Phillips was simply for the reason that I knew that he was in our academy for about 15 years. And not only that, not only was he in our academy, but I thought we were going to try and sell him for a little cheeky 3 or 4 million. You know, like what you do with some of your academy players. I thought he was just going to be that guy, not coming in and replacing Lovren. I weren't expecting that. Not in the slippery slightest. So now when you bring that information to me of, oh, now that we've got no senior centre-backs, the only one we really do have is Matip. He's always injured. Steroids on Pringles or Pringles on steroids. So he's not reliable. Who are we going to go in and get? I would take a 20-year-old centre-back who has been in good form recently, who has played at a good level. Because Lille are a good level. They might not be the best, but it's a good level. Ajax, that's a good level. That's where Botman was before Lille. That's a good level. It's one of them things now where, and also the thing that makes this realistic is Lille are in financial difficulties at the minute, which Liverpool could go and take advantage of. Let me know in the comments down below. This is something that you jump on. It's something that I certainly would for the price tag that it'd be rumoured to be for. Not only that, the age of the youngster. There's many reasons. And another thing, people bring in the arguments, well, he's not going to want to be a backup for however many long. What about when Van Dijk and Gomez come back? That's not the way Liverpool need to sell this position. They need to sell this position of, right, at the moment we're in an injury crisis. That's why we're coming to get you. No matter who this centre-back is, this is what Liverpool need to say. We want to get you as a cover option for now. But if you show us that you're better than the centre-backs we had previous, then we're more than happy to replace one of them for you. It's not one of them things where we're just going to buy you and then we're going to sell you. When these players get fit, we want to use you, and it's not just going to be for a squad player. We want to use you for our team. We want to put you in our starting 11 if that is the case, if you are showing enough to be able to do so. So that's what I want to leave with you when it comes to thinking about whether or not you would like Liverpool to go in for Botman. Let me know in the comments down below, as I said before. But that's pretty much all it is really with the news. There's not much else coming out, but we are going to be doing a long watch in a bit. We're going to keep an eye out on a few of the players there. Some of them doing very, very well. But first, we're going to talk about the Newcastle and Liverpool game with final match thoughts. Before we do, let me have a little look at the comment section as well. Wait there, I've just saw a comment that I actually wanted to answer, but I can't find it now. Can you make me a moderator? I'm a mod for expressions, brother. In fact, I actually do realise you're Realist United, and I will make you a mod. I can't do it right now because I'm on StreamYard, but I do need mods, and I notice you. So, Realist United, consider yourself the mod that is yet to be modded. So you are basically a mod. It's just not confirmed. The deal hasn't been signed. Do you know what I mean? This comment should never, ever be. This should be banned. This is why we need mods. Anyway, Man United, Liverpool. Now, I'm assuming you're a United fan, Alex, and that's absolutely fair enough if the case. But this is one thing I don't get about United fans. And I'm not being salty. I'm just being real. I've even just talked to Realist United. So I'm being as real as I possibly can. Use a second. You've got 2 games in hand. Please bear in mind, you were in the Champions League when you had 3 games left and you only had to win 1 of them, and you are now sitting in Europa League, my friends. Don't be talking about these 2 games in hand are guaranteed victories. Maybe you'll go on and win them. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just trying to say, mate, you've been in positions where you can take the top spot before and you haven't gone and done it. In fact, you're not even in Champions League football no more. So I'm just trying to tell Man United fans to calm down, because you seem to be like stepping onto my pitch as if you deserve to be there. Mate, I'm a Premier League champion. I'm a fan of a team that's Premier League champions. I'm a fan of a team that's very recently lifted the European trophy, that has lifted the World trophy. What have you lifted in recent times? Fuck all. And I'm only addressing that to you because that's what Man United fans would address to me for the longest time. Call me salty. Obviously, I'm not happy to see you winning, but I also know that we're still better than you. So when I see comments like that, it has got to be addressed. Therefore, I addressed it. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's Alex again chatting shit. Leipzig will put you in UCL. Listen, Alex, I don't care. At least we made it to the round of 16. Regardless what happens in the round of 16, at least we made it there, mate. Do you know what I'm saying? You enjoyed the round of 32 with the Europa League, being there, done that, and it was not fun. Right, we've got a super chat, is right. Again, anyone who donates to the stream is a legend, because that will be going right back into the channel. So thank you very much. And it's from Diego, super sticker. It's not even got a comment, but Diego, thank you very much. Diego's a legend. He supports all the fan channels. He's on all of them. I see him on League Gunners all the time. I see him even on Expressions. He's here all the time. Cop TV. He's just a legend. So shout out to Diego. And he's a Palace fan. Top guy. Just someone who loves football. That's what I want to try and bring to this channel, mate. People who just love football. Anyway, let me talk about the Liverpool-Newcastle game. And the first thing I want to talk about is what went wrong. Because when it comes to talking about this game, it was one of them that was a must-win. How many times have I started the preview this season and gone, oh, that's a must-win? Because most of our games are must-wins now. There's no doubt about it. When you're going for a league title, you need to win the majority of your games. And it weren't even like the approach was wrong, because I've asked myself the question on my laptop, what did we do wrong? It weren't even what we did wrong. It's what we didn't do when we were doing things right. It was when we were getting chances. We were doing well to create them, but we weren't putting them away. That's been one of Liverpool's biggest problems this season, whether it's been with Firmino. Obviously, Salah has got loads of goals, but he is still missing chances that he should be scoring. Feel free to disagree with me in the live chat. Honestly, please feel free to do so. But I'm just trying to give to you this information that Liverpool can be doing better under the circumstances. Even with all these injuries, we should go out and beat a Newcastle. And I am not taking away, Darlow was amazing. How amazing was Darlow? One of the greatest goalkeeping performances I've seen in a while. And based on what I've seen this season, him and Sam Johnston are two goalkeepers that should really give Pickford a run for his money when it comes to that England number one goalkeeper role, because Pickford's shite, and from what I've seen from these look like Neuer against us with game-changing, game-saving saves. Johnston's saved West Brom of 3 points with the Firmino header, and Darlow made many great saves yesterday. So it's one of them things. And obviously Diego, legends, over 162 watching. Get the likes in as well. You know that chance. So yeah, when I talk about what's gone wrong, I'm not trying to say we got everything wrong. It was shit. It was this. It was that. It just went to what Liverpool can achieve. And I am going to talk about some of the decisions that Klopp made and whatnot. But I want to ask you the question, because I want this show to make a debate. I want this show to spark interest in and make your mind sort of wonder and start thinking, do Liverpool need to take a new approach when it comes to the game? So obviously, the start of the season, we had the approach of having the high line, and we wanted to have maybe, however many men are over the halfway line, and that was that was making our back line susceptible. Bear in mind, Van Dijk was still there, Gomez was still there. We just looked poor with that style of play. We changed it a little bit. We covered up and we got better. Still played the high line, but we when you make them small adjustments that are absolutely necessary, that's what Liverpool done. And I feel like now it's at a point where we've got to do it again. We haven't beat 4 of the bottom 6 this season. Do you know how poor that is from Liverpool? Because when we beat a Chelsea and when we beat Aston Villa, beat Aston Villa. When was the last time we done that? Sorry, when we beat Chelsea and when we beat Arsenal, at the time, they were big games. They were big victories, even though Arsenal have gone to shit since and whatnot. At the time, when we played them 3 games or 4 games in, that was a big 3 points. It's all good and well getting points against these teams. And I say this about Arteta. I say it's all well and good winning an FA Cup, but it's about what you do in hindsight that makes it all the more better. It's the same with Liverpool. It's all good beating the top however many teams that you need to beat. But if you're not going to go and beat 4 of the bottom 6, then why are you thinking about league titles? To me, it just doesn't make too much sense. It doesn't make too much I don't even know what the word I'm looking for. It just doesn't add together, is all I'm trying to offer to you. Because Liverpool should be beating these teams. I know the way they're setting up is making it difficult, but it's not like we're getting out tactic genius-wise. It's not taking our chances. This is why I thought I'd bring up Erling Haaland earlier on. That weren't just some weird transfer. I really want us to go out and get a striker who can finish. And it's great that Diogo Jota's going to be back at the end of January and whatnot, but these players should still be able to put away games, and that's just the way it is. But the away form just hasn't been good enough. The team isn't showing enough aggression. That's another thing. I don't know if any of you saw the stats. Please let me know in the chat if you did see this, but did you see the stats in the game where it was like Liverpool? Oh no, I think it was the commentators who were talking about it, and they went, Liverpool is the least aggressive team in terms of yellow cards. I think we've got like 5 yellow cards all season. Correct me on that if I'm wrong, but it was something along those lines. And if that is the case, if I've remembered that correctly, if my silly brain has consumed that information correctly, then that means we are now pussies. We are officially bitches. Like, we've gone from the championes who just kill everyone to going in and we don't even want to do a tackle. And I've noticed that a lot this season. Do you know when we played against Everton? I didn't like that approach. I really, really didn't. I didn't think it was the right approach in many aspects of that game. I thought, if they're going to be aggressive and kick the living shit out of us, you go out and you do the same to them. Likewise, motherfuckers, because that's the way you've got to be nowadays, especially in big games like that. That's why I love players like Robbo, someone who can have a broken ankle, but he will still carry on and he will still give his best. But the rest of the team don't seem to have that attitude and seem to have that energy. And that's why are people talking about Kelleher? Do you know what I'm saying? But anyway, a comment here from Ads. We could have drawn against Tottenham and won against Newcastle and we'd still have the same amount of points. What's the point in winning big games and drawing basically losing games? That's what I'm saying, Ads. It's one of them things. Yes, obviously we could have dropped points against Tottenham, but it's about hindsight. And in hindsight, that win that we worked so hard for to get against Tottenham only looks so good. That's the be-all and end-all. It only looks so good and it means nothing because even though I mentioned that thing about Man United before, about them being 2 games in hand, they are still in a great position. Not better than us because we're actually top, but they're still in a good enough position to where they could be above Liverpool soon, especially with the form that we keep going with away from home and the difficult games we've got coming up, Man United being one of them. We will talk about that a little bit more in a bit, but I want to talk about a few individuals. That's my thoughts on the game as a whole because I've done my instant match reaction, so I don't want to blab on about it, but I want to talk about an individual in Nat Phillips, and I will talk about Thiago, who the title of this video is about. But Nat Phillips is someone who I want to mention first because I want to know your thoughts on Nat Phillips. This is a channel where I don't do these videos to give you the opinion that I'm right. I don't do that. And if I do, if it comes across that way, I apologise. That's not my intention. My intention is to throw an idea out there and we all play with it and fiddle with it. And this sounds mad. Playing fiddle with it. Not like that, but you know the point that I'm trying to make. Like, we like to have fun. Do you know what I mean? We like to have fun with these ideas. And Nat Phillips is one of them. Like I said before, weren't really on my personal radar a while back. I'm sure he weren't on many of your radars. Before I do carry on with my points, let me just read this super chat from Matt Hayes. Hayes there. Not if you're from Liverpool. Inside Joe, I think the fact you're at the top of the table is irrelevant. If Bergwijn could finish, you would be level with United and only 1 point ahead of us. Fine lines. Matt Hayes, that's where you're also correct. Even in the games that we have been taking points in against your Tottenhams and whatnot, it is fine lines, but that's why I think Liverpool have got the edge over these teams in the title race. And please remind me to get back on Nat Phillips. Please remind me to do so. But on that point, Liverpool is one of them teams we know. We have been, look at the last title race we was in, that we didn't go on to win the league. We didn't go on to win the league, but ever since we have now known, even last season especially, that we need to go on and win every game absolutely mathematically possible. Because every game's important. Every game is a final. But Liverpool haven't been getting them results over the line recently. You're right, Matt. Liverpool need to be doing that more. And most of our victories have came from grit. It's only really Wolves and Crystal Palace in the Premier League that were comfortable victories, realistically. Obviously, a few earlier on, but I'm talking about recent. A draw against Fulham's unacceptable. A draw against Brighton, unacceptable. A draw against whoever, West Brom, Newcastle, unacceptable. All them results are, but we should also be better than where we are because of our own wrongdoings. And I'm sure a lot of teams see the similar case, like you mentioned, Bergwijn to Tottenham. Tottenham fans can more than definitely look at that and and be absolutely furious about it. But anyway, back on Nat Phillips, and thank you again, Matt, for the super chat. Anyone who wants to bring in little debates like that and question me on something, by all means, go for it, because that's what this show is going to be for. Make sure you've got your cup of tea if you don't already. Nat Phillips, someone who I'm very interested to hear your thoughts of. And I saw a few comments on him before, and I was like, and I saw someone say he can't pass. This was the comment from Sam, like he can't pass. And there's a few others. There's another one. That is an average, no-nonsense centre-back for a lower championship side. And I'm not going to lie, I don't know if I want to be that harsh, but I agree to an extent. Even this comment here, Phillips will thrive for a Burnley type of club, not good enough, love his defending. And I think we've all got the same idea here. We know that Nat Phillips will go out on that pitch and he will give it 100%, and he will do everything possible to keep that ball from going in the net. And let's not dispute, Nat Phillips has had a couple of good games. By the way, shout out to 200 people in here. Make sure you leave a like and thank you for coming in. Nat Phillips has had a few good games for Liverpool, very solid games. But let's look at his best performances. The game against Brighton, I thought he'd done fairly well. And then his best game, which was his debut against West Ham. I'm not sure if it was his debut overall, but first game this season. And he looked really, really good. But the only reason, in my opinion, why he looked great in those games was because the way them teams played was very aerial. They put balls into the box. They weren't really looking to play through the middle and play balls in behind. When you see him coming up against... So when you play him against the Sebastian Haller of West Ham, you see what he can do well, and he's done great that game. When you play him against Brighton and you play him against more physical, bigger strikers, fucking chesty fellas, then that's when you're going to see his strengths. But I always had a question mark on Nat Phillips, and it was, well, what happens when someone runs at him? What happens when someone tries to skip past him? And we saw that against Newcastle, Callum Wilson, only on one or two occasions, but we saw what happens when he comes up against pace. And we can see that he's not fully confident on the pitch. Like when you see a player that's just below the level, but he's working his socks off, and it's working for him, but week in, week out, this will not work. This just will not run. We cannot start you week in, week out, because we will suffer for it eventually. It's got to that point for me and Nat Phillips where I don't think he'll make it as a Liverpool player, not based on work ethic. I think he's got more of that than most people in our squad, because I really do feel like he works hard when he's there. He really wants to win. He can, even people are mentioning, his heading's great and he can jump and whatnot. He can do many more things. His slide tackling looks solid, but it's just not to the level that Liverpool should be hoping to get. We shouldn't be replacing Dejan Lovren for Nat Phillips, and I think that's been established. And I think even Jurgen Klopp is noticing we can't trust Reece Williams and Nat Phillips. They might look good in a one-off game. They might look sound in training, but I don't think he has full belief that these players can go on and win us a league title or go on and do such and such. But let me know what you think in the comments down below on Nat Phillips. I am very, very interested, because some people are split. Some people still remember that great performance that he had earlier on in the season against West Ham, and they're thinking, he's got a chance. He's only 23, not too old, but like I said, there's better options out there. I'd rather a Botman from Lille, a 20-year-old centre-back who's playing week in, week out at a good level, because he's more proven. That's all I'm trying to offer. What else do I want to talk about? Let's talk about my man, Thiago Alcantara. Thiago. He's better than Rodriguez, without a question. But I like to mention, because you Evertonians blow, chat, smoke crack. Right, don't know where I'm going with that. But Thiago Alcantara, our saucy Spanish sexy midfielder, clip that up if you want. I don't give two shiny shites. He is back, he is ready, and he has got a vengeance. If he can stay fit, he most certainly can. And here's where we go to the thumbnail. He most certainly can save Liverpool's season. And I say save, and I'm saying that when we're first and we're doing well for the circumstances we've been put in. But I mean, he can be the difference of us winning. All them draws that we got, he's the difference of us winning them games. Look at the Everton game. He made the difference of us getting over the line, and we should have got a win. It was only VAR that stopped us. But we know that was a goal. We know that pass leading up to the goal was so exquisite. It was beautiful. It was the greatest thing you're ever going to see in your life. Let me just tell you that, and let me tell you that for free. There's another dimension when Thiago comes into this team, and he just might be what Liverpool needs right now. Just that little bit of spark, that little bit of inspiration, because when there's a new player, remember when Mane came into the team, there was a spark, and when Salah came into the team, there was a spark. Van Dijk came into the team, there was a spark. Thiago is now that new player who's going to come in and he's just going to add a little bit of fire to the squad, especially a depleted squad. Let's not mention, we are depleted right now. But with Thiago, he just adds a whole different element. Thiago is Mr. I dictate Champions League finals on my fucking own. That is what Thiago does. That's his middle name, Mr. I dictate Champions League finals. And now one of y'all motherfuckers can dispute that. No one. Even when he came on against Newcastle, he should be playing that well. But he's playing that well with 20 minutes to go after being out for however many months thanks to Richarlison. That's what I love to see from players. Someone who can come in and show their class. Coming into a team of champions and showing their class. That's why I think Thiago can very much certainly save our season and get us more points than what we need. Pep was sweating when he heard Liverpool sign Thiago. I think everyone was sweating. I know Bayern Munich wanted to keep him because he's a massive part of their team. Thiago's one of the best, if not the best, centre midfielder in world football. There is no doubt about it. That is why I love Thiago. That's why neutrals absolutely admire Thiago and anyone would take him in their team. Thiago makes Trent play better. Do you know what, mate? It's not something individually that I've realised, but it's something that I'm going to look out for because it doesn't surprise me if Thiago comes in this team. And I even saw it against Newcastle. He elevates everyone else's performance around him. It's just one of them. Like he's one of them. Like he'll play a pass to you, and it's going to be hard. He's going to make it near enough impossible for you to fuck anything about that pass up. In terms of a touch, that's how good he is a passenger. And Xabi Alonso, when he play a pass, and it'd be harder to fuck the touch up than actually make a great touch. Like it's one of them, mate. That's just what he's like. Left foot, left, right, short, long passes are different. Aiden, I agree. Thiago's passing. Thiago out against Southampton? ? I'm not sure if that's the case, Soccerzen. But if it is the case, then that's devastation. And that's one thing I do want to mention. We can't dispute Thiago does have injury problems and he does have issues. And it's more, even though his last injury, we can let him off because it was Richarlison who went into him in the derby and whatnot. And obviously he injured him. But he does get injuries by himself, little knee injuries, little twists and, turns and whatnot. It's one of them things with Thiago where we can only hope and we can only pray. And if he can stay fit, then I will agree with the title of this video that he can very much save our season and he can get us over the line for this league because that's just what players like him do. Bayern Munich would take Thiago back in a heartbeat. That's one thing I want you to establish. And Bayern Munich, in my opinion, are probably the best team in the world. Don't get me wrong, I've only started admitting defeat to that very recently, just with the downform of Liverpool in 2020, mainly because since we've confirmed the league, which was a long, long time ago, it's you can see that Liverpool haven't been as consistent in terms of being dominant. Bayern Munich have won everything. And look at their starting 11, they're still getting results now. Still dropped off a little bit, but still winning everything and are still more probably above Liverpool in the pecking order. That's why this season we need to go for it in the Champions League, in the Premier League, and knock them off that pitch. And it's players like Thiago who will get you over that line. And even players like Diogo Jota, someone who we talked about earlier in the video. And I've already mentioned Joe Matip. But when these players do start to come back, Man United fans will see people, trust me. I'm not just saying it to try and make you feel better or to make myself feel better. When we've got a full fit squad, if buts maybes, but no one comes close. The only reason Man United fans are gassed right now is simply for the fact we've got a few injuries and we're not even on par with how we can be. It's a fact. We haven't got our best centre-back. Who's their best centre-back? Eric Bailly. And he's always out, and that's a big miss for them. Imagine losing Joe Gomez. Imagine losing Virgil van Dijk. Imagine losing Joe Matip, who's better than Eric Bailly. It's just nonsense when you start to actually think of Man United on our level when you compare both squads. Saeed came on the channel and listen, mate, again, I'm open for opinions, but he said Man United had a better squad than Liverpool. And I just think, how, when you saw what we've done with a depleted squad, and look where you are with a near enough full squad. Yes, you had Martial out, but even since Martial's come back, what's he done? What's he done? That's really showing anything too significant. By the way, thank you for the love of this comment here. James, brother, you're the best Liverpool channel I know. Keep doing you, brother. You're awesome. Awesome. Shout out the Miz. Thank you very much for the comment, though. We have got the super chat as well from Johnny Barkley. Hi, James. Do you think we will sign a centre-back in January? And Johnny Barkley, I've talked about it a bit, but we are currently in strong talks, or we are looking to make a bid for Botman, a 20-year-old centre-back for Lille. So if that is the case, and, you know, I've seen a few rumours as of late, then that's great. It's great to see Liverpool starting to make moves, because as of yesterday, if you asked me that, it would have been a no. I don't think Liverpool will get a centre-back. Not because I don't want us to, but simply for the fact that I don't think we genuinely was going to. Shout me out, it's my birthday. Do you know what? Because it's the new year, and by the way, Happy New Year, everyone, in case you didn't see me say it at the beginning of the show. Let's sing Happy Birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Hisham Riaz. Happy birthday to you. Woo! Jeez! You already know the dance, because I promise. Anyway, happy birthday, fella. That's only happening once. And you know the dance with that. Kane or Firmino? This season, Kane. But Firmino's been in great form recently, even against Newcastle. Feel free to disagree, but did you think Firmino was bad? Because I thought he was very, very good, Firmino, and I think he's been very, very good for weeks. In fact, again, I made this mistake yesterday. I don't think he was very, very good to the point where he was world class. Thought he had a very slow start, like the whole team. But I'm talking about overall his performances over the past few weeks. Newcastle weren't his greatest one. Let me rephrase. It's more the performances that he's put in since that Leicester game a few weeks back. I've been very impressed with Firmino, but obviously Harry Kane's been another level this season. A super chat from one in Le Million. Would Christian Eriksen be a good fit for LFC? I wouldn't be up for a Christian Eriksen signing, I'm not going to lie. He feels like more of an Arsenal signing to me. That's the way I look at Christian Eriksen. He's gone to Inter Milan. It hasn't worked for him there. Even though, and again, midfield is the last area that we need to improve. I realised against Newcastle, we have got such a strong midfield in so many different aspects. We've got a James Milner. We've got a Gini Wijnaldum. We had Gini Wijnaldum and Thiago on the bench while we were starting our young, great talent in Curtis Jones, our almighty captain in Jordan Hendo and James Milner, who can play for any team in the Premier League week in, week out still. I'm not saying he gets in over the certain players in the top six, but he could play week in, week out for any team at any intensity. That's how amazing James Milner is. He had a great performance yesterday, James Milner. Definitely my man of the match for outfield players, because Alisson was my man of the match overall. So I don't think we need an Eriksen at all, to be dead honest with you, mate. Anyway, we move forward. So, by the way, someone's just mentioned in the chat, by the way, James, I know you only mention super chats, and that I only do that so the show can flow. It's not even a way to force you to make super chats, but I'm reading every comment. I'll be like, you know what I mean, lad? So I just don't want to keep looking at this. But if I do notice a good comment from the corner of my eye, then I will definitely give it a read. I just read super chats because if you're spending your money to support the channel, it's the least I can do. So yeah, anyway, we're going to move into the next thing that I want to talk about. This is the last thing I want to talk about the Newcastle game, and then we're going to move on to the loan watch and a little bit of transfer news at the end of the video as well. So the last thing I want to talk about, why did Salah go off in the 91st minute? Now, if you're unaware of what I'm talking about, Liverpool 0-0 against Newcastle. There was 4 minutes added on at the end, and in the 91st minute, so the first minute of that 4, Salah was taken off for Shaqiri. And I just thought that's a very questionable move from Jurgen Klopp, and he's done a few of them over recent weeks. And I put on Twitter, unless he was injured, why did Jurgen Klopp just take off Mo Salah? And then Rance came back at me, and listen, I love Rance, he's my brother, but he came at me on Twitter and he was saying, well, even if he played 900 more minutes, he wouldn't have got a goal, and he was shit all game, and his first touch was terrible. All that is facts. Mo Salah had a very below par performance yesterday. What did I give him in my ratings? I think I gave him a 6 or a 5.5, and I can't remember the last time I gave Salah that low of a rating. But you cannot dispute, and I'm not even saying bringing on Shaqiri was the wrong move, but you brought off the wrong player. Because even though Mo Salah might have not got a goal yesterday, you can't take away from me. Leaving him on the pitch gives us a better chance of scoring. And Jurgen Klopp says it himself, it's about giving yourself the best possible chance, which is why I go back to the point. Unless he was injured, why did we bring off Mo Salah? We needed a goal. And yes, his finishing was poor, piss poor, but he gives us the best possible chance. He's more likely to score a goal more than anyone on that football pitch. It's a fact. Fact. So why are you taking them off when we need a goal? Bring on Shaqiri, but bring him on for a Hendo who never had a great game. And Hendo Nino, my fucking captain. But I'm fine to admit when I know who can score and who can't. Hendo isn't a goal scorer. Salah's a goal scorer. We needed a goal. That just didn't make sense, and Jurgen Klopp's made a few substitutions. My manager, greatest manager in the world, let me dispute that before people start going, James, stop hating on Jurgen Klopp, you're not even a proper fan. I love Jurgen Klopp, wouldn't want anyone else above him. But I'm allowed to call him out when he does something wrong. That's what we're allowed to do as fans. What? So because I'm a fan who's not being in his position, I can't call him out. I can call him out if I feel that's wrong. And I've actually been proven right since. As have many more Liverpool fans. This isn't just me making this conclusion. But that's just my view on it. Very interested to hear what you think. We are going to do a long watch to kind of conclude the video. Why are people talking? Man United fans are deluded. Khaled, we know. See, look, how stupid is this? 21 is coming. When you say is coming, do you mean like now? Or do you mean in like 10 years? Because is coming is a very you've got to be a bit more specific, because I don't think it's coming this season for Manchester United fans. Anyway, let's do a long watch, yeah? So, the first player who I want to talk about, my brother, Harvey Elliott, made up with how well he's done this season, mate. Very recently got 65 minutes against Huddersfield Town in a 2-1 loss. Obviously, that's not ideal for him, but he's had a great season for Blackburn. I think he's on, 7 goals and 5 assists, and he's 17, playing in the Championship week in, week out. And yeah, that's probably one. I think that's actually, from what I've seen, one of the first games where he hasn't played the full 90 minutes as well, and played just 65. But yeah, Sheyi Ojo, he played 90 minutes against bottom of the table Wickham, and he lost 2-1. But he did get an assist, so that's an all right little thing for Sheyi Ojo to take out of it. Harry Wilson also played 90 minutes against Wickham in the 2-1 loss. And Marco Grujic, the snake in the grass, 5 minutes against Victoria in a 3-2 win. But he played the last 5 minutes. I want to ask you a question off the back of that long watch. There's your updated long watch as it is. Would you take Marco Grujic back at Liverpool? Now, I'm going to actually look at the chat and find opinions. Ryan LFC, keep going, Liverpool, 20 Premier League titles. Yes, Ryan, that's it. We've got to catch up with Man United before they get 21. That's just a fact. And by the way, shout out to Ryan. He's a legend. Go subscribe to his channel and leave a like on every single one of his videos. I love his energy, and I've actually got to get you on this channel one day, Ryan, for sure. And this comment sums up Harvey Elliott perfectly and the form that he's been in. Why isn't it coming up? There we go, we've got it. Elliott is on smoke right now in the Championship. He's the Messi of the Championship. And I'm not just saying that because I know him and I support. Mate, I support all my players. He's one of them talents that look like he could be generational. I'm not saying he is. He's too young to say that right now, but he looks like he could be, as long as he keeps going into that sort of trajectory direction that he's been going in. But yeah, would you take Grujic back? Because if you ask me, based on discipline, I wouldn't. But at the same time, he could add a lot to our team with the crisis that we're in right now. You know what I'm saying? See, this is a good comment, though. We've got too many good mids at the moment, and that's true. We've got Curtis Jones, James Milner, Thiago, players that are listed before. We've got even Oxlade-Chamberlain and Naby Keita, outsiders. You know, the basement. Shout out to Matt from Coppish. The basement. Yeah, that's where they usually chill. But the thing is, though, there's still good options and still good players when they are fit. It's just when are they fit. He loaned Grujic. This could have been Grujic's breakthrough year. Now, this is actually something that I want to pick up on about Grujic, because obviously he's out on loan at Porto at the minute. But one thing I want to offer to you, he's played fewer than 10 minutes of football, making 5 appearances in Porto's last 13 games. So in Porto's last 13 games, he's played 5 of them games and only played a total of less than 10 minutes. On top of that, he's only played 2 full games since joining Porto. So it's not really gone too well for him. If you ask me, he's the biggest name out of all them players, bar maybe Harvey Elliott. If you ask me, sell Marco Grujic, there's no reason really to keep him. Yes, it's another player to the squad. Yes, he probably adds something to this team, but again, we can get better, and that's why I wouldn't really be too set on wanting to keep Marco Grujic. And then the next thing as well, one last thing before I round up this first episode of Cop Talk, and let me know if you have enjoyed. We've also got another super chat, which I will attend to. But before I do, from John Conway, legend, I want to ask you, do you think Harvey Elliott can get into the first team next season? Very, very interested to know well, not the first starting 11, but in and around the first team squad. Very interested to know what you've got to say and what you think. It's a good topic of conversation because he's been amazing this season. Like I said before, about 7 goals and 5 assists, there and thereabouts. He's got so much ability. He's good at running at plays. He's got confidence at the young age. He's got the ability on the ball. He's got the work ethic. He's got the experience of playing around a Mane or Salah. You saw that picture of Harvey Elliott when he was like 15 wearing the Mo Salah shirt. So much that kid's just smashed it with. And yeah, we've got a proper player there. That's why I'm asking that question. Because look at Curtis Jones. He's knocking on the door to become a first teamer, let alone just being in the first team squad. Anyway, so from John Conway, Happy New Year, James, and to you too, John, and everyone else watching the stream. 260 people are in here. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Also, you can become a member by clicking the link in the channel description. Obviously, it supports the channel. You'll get a little icon next to your name. But the support that you show this channel will be reinvested 100%. And another super chat in Nathan Mason. Thank you very much, my mate. From a United fan, I think your midfield lacks creativity, rely too much on fullbacks. Trent has also been poor this season. So you're a United fan, shame. I think your midfield lacks creativity. I feel like you're right, but when Thiago comes back, that will probably be covered. And rely too much on fullbacks. That's where you're right. We rely heavily on our fullbacks because that's just how we play. And maybe we now need to take a different approach with the results that we've been getting recently. And then the last statement you said is also true. Trent has been poor this season. Certainly not as good as what he has usually been. Thank you again for the super chat. Some good points made there as well. Harvey is better than, well, you've just said Harvey better than, probably better than everyone is what you're trying to say. Hit the like button, guys, please. Thank you very much. Yeah, let me see what this says. Harvey Elliott is a true LFC player. Plays for the badge and the city of Liverpool, the people of Liverpool. He's proud to wear the shirt. That's the thing. He's a Liverpool fan. He grew up as a Liverpool fan as well. Here's a super chat on Harvey. Harvey at 17, 4 goals, 5 assists. Okay, so not 7 goals. I'm overrating him a little bit, but 38 chances created. Bear in mind he's 17. Most through balls with 5, 3 pre-assists, and haven't gone a game without creating a chance. Hashtag smoke. yes, that is the best super chat that has been sent all day. Thank you very much, Timo Trey. Timo Trey, I actually know that name. You're a regular watcher of Coppish, if I'm correct. Timo Trey, thank you very much, my mate, and thank you for the stats as well. There's some education for you lot. Harvey Elliott, yeah, this is a comment from Ryan LFC. Harvey will be in the Premier League team next year, brother. I agree. I think he'll be in there and thereabouts. I also, with the fact some people haven't been taking the chances, I think that's definitely a massive shout. Obviously, he's going to read super chats there, adding value to the stream. I just want to kind of correct this just because it's the first episode and in future episodes don't want to talk about it. If you send me a super chat, I will absolutely read it. But I'm not just reading super chats so you send super chats. It's just so the flow of the show doesn't mess up or whatever, because me looking at comments and then looking at the camera, then looking at comments, it makes me lose me train of thought, and I don't want to just be like all iffy and butty and maybes. I'm not known for that. Come on, people, you know what I mean? So don't worry, I'm not just being money grabbing. I'm just letting you know in whatever ways you support the channel, it will be reinvested back into the channel. So that's forever appreciated. But someone mentioned at the start of the stream, if you can't afford it, just hitting that like button is more than enough. Only takes a second. But I think we're all on the same page when it comes to Harvey Elliott and our position on whether we want him in the first team next season or not. I certainly do, because I just think him, Jota, they're great options. Steve Okarigi is going to be looking on leaving soon. He's better than Minamino. I think we already know, at least as an attacking option, Harvey Elliott is better than Minamino. Who else is there? Shaqiri. I'd rather see Harvey Elliott above Shaqiri, not going to lie. He's younger, doesn't really look too much worse on current form, let's be real. A championship's a difficult league for a 17-year-old, and he's tearing it up. He's the youngest player to make a Premier League appearance. There's Real Madrid wanted him. Fucking Barcelona wanted him. We made a good deal, and I always say that summer where we signed Adrian, where we signed Sepp van der Berg, and where we signed Harvey Elliott, we will not look at that transfer window as a great transfer window for then. It will be a transfer window that we look back on in 5 years' time and think, do you know what, that was a great transfer window for sure. So yeah, it's going to be one of them cases. But yeah, I get on this comment, Thiago over Bruno. On current form, you can't say he is, can you? You know what I mean? Just because Bruno's actually been playing. But Mr. I Dictate Champions League finals is definitely a level above Bruno Fernandes based on CV and based on what he's done. But you can't say on current form because obviously he's been not playing. Shaq is better than Harvey. Sorry, T-Chen, let me mistake. If you've got what I've said there wrong, that's absolutely fine. On form, Harvey Elliott would add more to this team than what Shaqiri is adding to this team. Now, that's not a fact. It's really, really not. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying he's a better player overall, but that's just what I think. But feel free to disagree in the comments down below. I think he's been amazing in the Championship, but again, could be just arse looking. I can see Elliott being the new Salah in about 4 or 5 years. Listen, I'm just happy to see him turn into the next Harvey Elliott. I'm more than happy to see that because he's been in great form. And again, he adds a lot to this team. From Ryan LFC, Thiago Alcantara will make Liverpool be champions of England. Manchester United fans, how do you feel about that? That's it, my mate. Realist United, 215 likes. What? Have we got 215 likes? Absolute legends. Legends all round. Yeah, this is a good question. Shaqiri or Minamino? On ability, there's no doubt that Shaqiri. Working hard, you've got to give it to Minamino. He works his socks off, but it's not just about that, is it really? But anyway, people, I want to round up this video, but there's a few more comments that we'll read through on the Lone Watch. From Demo Dre, Harry Wilson has been treated very badly in my eyes. I can't believe this guy hasn't been given a fair chance. And you know what, Demo Dre? I'm very interested to why you've come up with to that conclusion, because I just think it's because he hasn't been good enough. Maybe I'm wrong. And again, like you, I've seen good glimpses of him very, very much so. But another player who I saw good glimpses of was like a Ryan Kent a few seasons ago before he joined Rangers permanently. Look at Ryan Kent now. He's showing that he's got more to his game. Whereas Harry Wilson, he's showing he's got more to his game. But is it good enough for Liverpool? I don't think so. I think Ryan Kent in this Liverpool team will cause problems. Not starting, but being an option. Very much certainly. Look what he's doing with Stevie G. But yeah, mate. Anyway, people, I think I'm going to round up the first episode of the LFC Talk Show. I really hoped that you all enjoyed it. One thing I've noticed is a lot of people weren't just Liverpool fans who came in here. Even people who were super chatting weren't Liverpool fans. So the fact that you were here and you were contributing is fantastic. And not only to this show, but even if you're liking and just subscribing, mate, again, that means the world. Even if you just clicked on this video and gone straight away, gone, fuck this, scouse dickhead, we're Dusty. And again, nice one. Just thank you for the chance. I said it on my Instagram before. I say it on near enough every video. I just appreciate getting to make content for you. And this was a great start of the stream. This was a great first episode. The people are already showing love. Great show. Realist United. I will make sure that I get that done. Don't you worry, my mate. You have very much certainly got the job, my mate. You've got the job. Right, Happy New Year, everyone. That's one thing that I want to repeat. Same as George. Happy New Year. Good performance from the Thiago. Happy New Year, James. You'll never walk alone. Liverpool need to go and get 2 centre-backs, one big name and one decent one, because Matip's injuries are killing us, and need Fab in midfield, and this is time for Thiago to shine and stay fit. Hope you're good, James. Happy New Year, lad, from Ireland, up the Irish. Happy New Year, party hard, great show, brother, and Happy New Year. Thank you very much for watching, people. I will see you all later, and peace out.